Hello, folks. Welcome back to Chris Wyatt Africa. This is Chris in Central Pennsylvania. Alarming news out of Florida, where former President Donald Trump's home was raided by the FBI. Have we become a banana republic? The evening started with this personal message from the former president. My beautiful home, Mar-A-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida, is currently under siege, raided and occupied by a large group of FBI agents. And with that, former President Donald Trump last night revealed the extent of the underhanded, abusive nature of the corrupt Biden regime for all the world to see. Say what? What's going on here? Well, back in late February of 2022, Attorney General Merrick Garland said the Justice Department was aware of the classified material had been found on former President Donald Trump's Mar-A-Lago property in Florida, but didn't explicitly confirm that a federal probe on the matter was underway. Of course, we found out in subsequent weeks that, in fact, there was some sort of investigation going on. This raises a number of pertinent questions. The first of which is, how is the Justice Department aware of what's resident on the premises of Mar-a-Lago, a private estate? How do they even know what's there? If, in fact, there is classified information, is it stored properly? Former presidents retain access to classified information as a matter of course. If there is classified information, is it stored properly? Former presidents, in fact, retain access to classified information as a matter of course. That Trump would have access to classified information and have it at Mar-a-Lago is not at all surprising. The question isn't that, and which is what the media wants to run with. The question is, did the storage meet storage standards set by the executive branch? Now, this is a relevant question. Not claiming that he has classified information, that's a red herring. That's intended to destroy his reputation and tarnish his reputation. Of course, he's a former president and has classified information. So does Barack Hussein Obama and George Bush. Next question is, who determined that the data stored at Mar-a-Lago is actually classified? If it is classified information, according to whom? Of course, as we know, Democratic members of the Senate have no regard for classified information whatsoever. For instance, rushing out of a private classified meeting with the president to tell the world that President Trump called African states shithole countries with no consequences for disclosing classified information. The damage to our reputation from that criminal betrayal is incalculable. Did the executive branch classification authority, the president, actually classify or declassify the information that they sought at Mar-a-Lago? Now, why did the FBI raid a former president's private property? If this investigation had been ongoing since late February, which was reported in the press and disclosed by Merrick Garland, that's nearly 6 months now. Why not simply request the material or discreetly collect it with a warrant if cooperation was not forthcoming? Why the perp walk approach? Now, this is an apropos question, as we discovered that, in fact, Trump has been cooperating with the Department of Injustice. Even lame news CNN reported, following the National Archives recovering of White House records from Mar-a-Lago in recent months, the FBI on Monday had to verify that nothing was left behind. So the FBI has been to his residence. They've collected information. He's cooperated. If he's hiding something, he's had 6 months to destroy it. Contrast this with a hit piece that is in Axios now talking about Donald Trump dropping classified documents or dropping information and hiding for presidential records by flushing it down the toilet. This is comical, to say the least. So Trump has been cooperating with the FBI since February in their request to see records that he legally, lawfully held at Mar-a-Lago as a former president. So now they make a huge show and invade a former president's residence. Hey, FBI, you're hungry for a fishing expedition? Let's see what Obama is hiding at his residence. Now, there's a good answer for all of this. The United States, under the demon rat party and the demented presidency of Lunch Pail Joe, is a banana republic, incapable of meeting its obligations to its own citizens, obliterating our national security abroad and on our borders, dividing society, racializing it, and installing unqualified senior officials simply on the basis of sexual orientation, skin pigmentation, or gender identity. The Biden regime is a meteoric replay of the collapse of Rome on steroids. Now, this insult to America and the embarrassment to our nation was intentional and purposeful. The criminal cabal that are undermining the rule of law, social cohesion, and our influence and position on the global stage are terrified of Donald Trump. What they do not realize is that with each egregious lie, false allegation, unsubstantiated narrative, salacious innuendo, they only make him more popular and bring more people to his standard. Now, contrast this horrific abuse of power by meritless Garland and the Department of Injustice with how the government has handled the previous high-profile serial violators of federal law dealing with records and classified information. Now, I'm not claiming that Trump is a serial violator or even a one-time violator, but we have 2 examples of that, and let me discuss those. Samuel Richard Sandy Berger, who passed away on December 2nd, 2015, was a political consultant who served as the 18th National Security Advisor for President Clinton from 1997 to 2001. And he also serves as Deputy Security Advisor for 4 years prior to that. In 2005, he was fined and sentenced to 2 years of probation plus community service for stealing classified information from the National Archives. He was caught walking out of the building with secret documents stuffed in his shoes. As a consequence, 2 years of probation, no perp walk, no destruction of his personality, his reputation. He died with that intact. He did give up his law license. Big whoop. He already made a fortune. Now, the other high-profile case I want to talk about is Hillary Clinton, who stole top-secret sensitive compartment information from the Department of State classified computers. She transported it from secure locations on classified facilities, uploaded on open computers and public networks, and then arrogantly denied and even joked about violation of the Espionage Act. Wiped the server? What, you mean like with a cloth? Former FBI Director James Comey exceeded his writ covering up her crimes and fraudulently dismissed her felonies with lies about a lack of intent. The statute for the Espionage Act does not require intent. We've had service members convicted with no intent. Now, Clinton also illegally used personal mobile telephones to circumvent federal law and prevent records of her official communications with foreign officials. This is especially poignant regarding her dealings with Moscow, Beijing, and the Ukraine. In response to the FBI raid yesterday, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy put Merrick Garland on notice and warned him to preserve all his documents and communications. Shots fired. No doubt this is a warning shot of the coming impeachment trial for Garland when Republicans regain control of Congress in November. So what's going on here? Do these people have no regard for our nation, our reputation? If these documents are in fact classified and stored improperly, then let the counterintelligence folks get to the bottom of it. An intentional high-profile perp walk of a former president just 3 months before an election, this is abuse of the highest order, and it's unconscionable. And it's just another example of the illegitimacy of the Biden regime, a regime focused on dividing America based on class, race, gender, and faith, and demonizing anyone who questions their illegitimacy or their incompetence. This is the dumbest box of rocks ever to fill a cabinet in the history of this republic. And we are on a rapid descent into irrelevancy or a country that breaks apart. Why? Because the self-obsessed, demonic, racist conduct of Democrats and the people that run this country. Well, folks, feel free to leave a comment behind if you like. If it's abusive, just keep it to yourself. And if you'd like to give us a like on the video, we'd appreciate that. And become a subscriber if you're not one already, where you'll hear cogent conversation and analysis of politics, culture, language, religion, and events that affect us all around the world with a focus on Africa, but also dealing with what happens here in the United States. Thanks a lot, folks.